Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back. It is Thursday morning. Y'all come on in here so we can get up out of here because Coach Tawanda got some things to do today, baby. First thing she gonna do is try to get her a straw that ain't got no hole in it because she ain't got time for that. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Let's go ahead and get started. If you are new here with me today, and if you are not new here with me today, and you have um just stumbled up across this live. I am grateful, grateful, grateful to have you here. I want to take a moment first to invite you. Before we get started, go ahead and send out the invite for you to join me on live December the 15th for our Vision and Goals workshop. If you have been following, you will see we're going to talk about some great stuff. We're going to go ahead and break down some walls and build up some new ones. So come on in, come on in, come on in. Today is day 4. It is day 4, and what we're going to do is decide to break the cycle. We're going to break the cycle because we're going to decide who we become. Okay, we are not going to let circumstances, we're not going to let situations, we're not going to let the past and parents and all those things decide who we are becoming. We are going to decide that for ourselves. Before we dive into this message, I want to take a moment to pull everything together from this week. We have been talking this week. Today is Thursday. Let's come on and get with it because each day has been building on the next day. All week, every week that I am online, we start the week off, and throughout that week, we just start building. We are building so that when it gets to Friday, we can go ahead and walk that thing out. It's another week for us to set the stage for ourselves and determine who we are, whose we are, and where we're going. So on day 1, we was talking about accountability. On day 1, we took the first hard. Um, but necessary. It was hard but necessary step into accountability. Yes, yes, we have. So we stopped pointing fingers at people, at circumstances, at past situations, and we turned the mirror towards ourselves. We asked ourselves some questions so that we can learn about ourselves a little bit deeper in this moment, in this season. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Mr. Richard. So we talked about accountability. And one of the questions that we asked is, where am I contributing to my own cycle? And how can I take back my power? Accountability of one's life, taking accountability for the things that happen in life, it gives power. It gives power. That day wasn't about blame. Accountability is not about blame, it's about ownership. We took ownership because we cannot change what we refuse to acknowledge. Okay, come through, come through. Good morning, Miss Cassie. Day 2, we talked about complaining. Complaining keeps you stuck. We exposed how complaining quiet, man, it's so quiet. Our complaining is louder than the voice that drains our energy when we are complaining. It blinds you to situations, to solutions. When we are complaining, we miss the opportunity for solutions. We keep ourselves stuck in a space doing the same thing over and over, telling the same story that we've been telling. And we talked about how complaining can shrink our perspective. We talked about how it rewires our mood, how it attracts frustration. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, been there, done that now. And it keeps us rehearsing problems instead of creating solutions. We shift from, on day 2, we shift from, why is this happening to me, to what can I do? What can I do with what's in front of me? That's it. It was a shift of the mindset, changing the scenario from why me to what can I do to change the situation. That's a mindset reset. It's a mindset reset. On day 3, we changed our response. We understood that E plus R equal O. Event plus response equals outcome. That's what we talked about. That's what we talked about. We learned that your life is not shaped by what happens. It's shaped by how you respond, because life is going to happen. Life is going to life. So when you look at the event and you look at the response, and it's equal to outcome. So determine what your outcome is going to be. That's your determination. You can't control every event. That's what we learned on day 3. We cannot control every event, but we can control our responses. And when you change your response, you create new ones. Yep, that's what you do. We identified our default reactions, identifying default reactions. And I say we, where I've grown through these things, still learning every day is a day of practice. Where I've gone through them, I'm still learning. I still have to put some things in practice every single day. And some of those default reactions that we may be having is shutting down, get angry, overthinking, avoiding, all those things. And we learn how to pause for just a second, how to choose intentionally, and how to respond from who we want to become, not who we used to be. Come on now. It's not about who we want to become. I mean, it is about who we want to become, not who we used to be. I'm sorry. Looking over here on TikTok and got me all discombobulated. Bless it, Lord, this morning. So listen, at some point in your life, you have to stop asking, why do I keep going through this? I had that moment yesterday. I was talking to a friend of mine. And oh my goodness, it just had to be one of those days where it was just things going on and happening. And I was like, you know what? Now, this is a bit too much. And I had to stop and ask myself, well, why is this situation happening? Why is it, and it was kind of funny because she, was talking about it and it was a joke. I wasn't complaining necessarily. I was talking through the process and she said, we're going to practice what we preach today because we ain't going to complain about it. We're going to go ahead and do what? I said shift. And it's power in the shift. It's power even in the accountability and the reminder in those moments, because what it did is it did allow me to shift. Let me tell you what, the situation that was going on that I allowed myself to, to be involved in that moment, pulled, snatched into, I realized that it had something to do with me. You know what I'm saying? It had something to do with me. So I had to ask myself, why am I going through this right now? A shift came. Why do you keep choosing the same version? Hold on. Yes, Nana. Huh? Okay, just start getting yourself together and we'll get some for it. But I can take you when I'm going down to Habitat. Okay. All right, I'm in my live. Okay. Somebody stayed up late, baby, and talking about got a little migraine. Don't want to get up this morning, but she gonna get up and go to school. Let's go ahead and continue, shall we? Why do we keep choosing the same version? Why do I? That's a question that one can ask for themselves. Why do I keep choosing the same version of me who allowed certain situations, who allowed certain things? Because the truth is, cycles don't break because life get easier. It don't. Cycles do not break because life get easier. Cycles break because you become someone different. You make different choices. This is identity work. This is transformation. This is cycle breaking when you make different choices. And in order to make different choices, you have to be in a position to understand, again, who you are, whose you are, and where you're going. And looking at, when you look at E plus R equal O, you understand events is something that you can't control. Your response is something that you can control. And the outcome is something that you're looking forward to. So according to the outcomes that you have been receiving, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision to respond a little bit different. Identity creates patterns. Every habit you have, every relationship you tolerate, every setback you repeat, every time you silence yourself, every time you shrink, it's not about the event. We think the event is what's keeping us stuck. It's not the event, it is our response. It's about the identity that we're operating from. According to your response, according to how you respond, that's part of your identity. You may have to change the identity if you don't like the outcome that you are receiving. You don't rise to the level of your goals. That's something that I had to learn myself. You're not going to rise to the level of your goals. What you're going to do is fall to the level of who you believe you are. So it's a shift. We're thinking we finna rise to those goals, but no, what it is we're going to fall into the level of who we believe we are. So according to what you believe about yourself, those are going to be your outcomes. Those are the outcomes you're going to be creating. If deep down inside you believe you're unworthy, you believe you're overlooked, you believe you're unsupported, you're invisible, you're not good enough, you're always the strong one but never supported, you will continue to live out the same truth even when you're praying for a different one. When you can be praying for something different, but if your mindset is not aligned with what it is that you're praying for, you're going to continue to get the same responses, the same outcomes over and over. How is cycles formed? Some cycles they feel a little hard to break. I know it. I know it. Good morning, Miss Kimberly. Good morning. Some cycles feel hard to break. Cycles form from pain. We all have experienced pain. We all have experienced pain, and pain becomes our identity. We identify with it. We sit in it. We just think this is just life for us. I'm just here to tell you that it's not. Cycles form from pain. I'm sorry. Cycles form when your pain becomes your identity. You understand? When your past becomes your personality because of the hurt and the pain that you've experienced in the past, you start responding in that manner. When survival becomes your story, I was a survivor for a very long time. Bless my heart, baby. I was tired. I was always out of breath because I was always surviving, always running, always moving, always trying to figure it out, always jumping into spaces, into rooms that did not serve me because I was in autopilot mode. I was still reacting and responding to things that I really should have been letting go. And when you start living by old responses that no longer fit the version of you God is calling you into, when you start living by those old responses, you're going to get the same old outcome. If you grew up silencing yourself to keep peace, you'll silence yourself as an adult. The things that we allow ourselves to pick up as children, we allow ourselves, if we don't change them, we allow ourselves to run into adulthood doing those same things. But here's the thing, although we're in the space and we are now adults, that's why we take accountability. That's why we do self-awareness, so we can see how we are showing up, so we can make decisions to show up different. If you learn to settle to avoid losing people, then guess what? You're going to be settling in situations that don't deserve you. If you learn that love equals struggle, and baby, I thought that's what it was, because baby, I was struggling to get them parents' love, baby. And then I went through life thinking that's how it was. So you'll keep choosing to struggle even when peace is not available. So you'll be stepping into places knowing that there's no peace there, but you just gonna keep stepping into it. Cycles don't repeat because you want them. We don't want the pain. We don't want the trauma. We don't want to keep it, but they're going to keep repeating because they're not going to repeat because you want them. They're going to repeat because you're on autopilot. You're waking up every day doing the same thing, making the same decisions, the same choices, responding the same way, being the version of you that life has trained, not the version that God has ordained for us to be. Is a version of us that we have been hiding under the pain that we have been carrying for so long. This is the moment to release it. You have been, who you've been is not who you have to be. I learned that. Like, I'm not even going to go into, like I said, we're going to have to keep this thing quick today because Coach T got some things to do. Who you've been is not who you have to be. I had to make a decision that it was okay for me to change to be the better version of me. I had to make a decision. And it's every day. Every day I'm still having to practice certain things. Every day I have to still keep myself guarded because guess what? We are human and I'm human before I'm anything else. Believe that. You are allowed to choose again. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to become someone your old life would never recognize. You are allowed to be somebody different. You don't have to be the person that expectations of others was placed on. You see what I'm saying? You can make decisions to be who you need to be in this lifetime and moving forward. You don't have to keep becoming the person who shrinks, becoming the person that overgives, that tolerates disrespect, that forgets themselves, that hide their gifts. I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. The person that stays silent, the person that loved from empty places. We are in spaces, and I remember a poem that I wrote to myself. Like, how can you love somebody else if you're not willing to love yourself? It just don't sit right. We carry pain that we never created. It is time to let it go. You don't have to be that person anymore. The cycle breaks when you decide, I'm becoming somebody new. Who you gonna decide to be today? Are you going to decide to be the person that you've always been, the person that sits and shrink, the person that sits and not believe in themselves, the person that sits in frustration, the person that keep responding out of pain instead of walking in purpose? This is the moment where you ask yourself, who am I choosing to become from this day forward? When you ask yourself this question, it's not based on trauma. That's the old self. That's the old you. Childhood survival, that's the old you. Fear, past relationships, guilt, habits, it's the old you. We are working on becoming new. Who are we becoming based on the truth, purpose, and identity? Give identity an option to ignite. Give identity an option to just show up being and presenting itself as the better version of you. Who am I becoming? Somebody that speaks up for themselves, somebody that honors their boundaries, somebody that say no without guilt, because baby, that no comes with a little guilt. And honey, that thing can shake a tail feather, let me tell you. But we're gonna move and we're gonna be okay and confident with saying no, and we're gonna do it without guilt. We're gonna choose peace over chaos. We're gonna respond with wisdom. Yes, we are going to respond with wisdom. Everybody got a little piece of them inside of them. You don't have to respond cutting up. It feels good to cut up sometimes. I don't know. I'm not trying to contradict anything, but baby, sometimes I don't know if it's just a release or what, but no, if you can still cut up, but cut up with wisdom, I'm just saying. We're going to expect respect. We're going to pour from a full cup. No longer are we pouring from an empty space, and we're going to walk in clarity. We're going to love without apology. You know, I remember that moment of, you know, loving somebody and, you know, all those things that come into that space, and then, you know, you apologizing for it. You apologizing for being that person. Well, just because that person didn't receive it don't mean you did anything wrong to where you have to apologize. You showing up being yourself. God never asked us to stay the same. I think that we all are put here and we evolve, just like we go from being an infant to a child to a toddler to a child to a teen to adult and things of that nature. We evolve. He never told us to keep repeating wilderness behavior. Baby, let me tell you, it was a season that I was in the wilderness when I was complaining and I was doing all those things, staying in those spaces, still operating out of pain, out of distress, and all those things. I was remaining and reminding myself and continue to repeat those same behaviors that kept me in that space. He said, be transformed and renewed by your mind. That's it. What I talk about is mindset shift, because I understand that in order for me to get to where I'm trying to get, I'm going to have to shift my mind. And trust me, it is an everyday process. It is not something that you just do one day and then you don't do today. Before I got up this morning, I had to work on my mindset. I had to work on my energy, because I understand that there's going to be some things that's going to come in my place. Some things, remember the events that I cannot control, and it's going to try to shake me. There's going to be some tests that I'm going to have to pass in order to get to the next season, the next part of me that I am waiting for. I'm going to have to move different. I'm going to have to respond different. Transformation is not an event. It's an identity shift. That was something that I had to learn, because I thought it was like, okay, we're going to go to this little event and do this little thing. No, it's a transformation shift. There's going to be some things that we're going to continue to do throughout days to keep ourselves aligned with where it is we're going and what it is that we're trying to do. The Israelites didn't stay stuck because of Pharaoh. They didn't. The Israelites stayed stuck because of the mindset they refused to release. We are staying stuck in situations because we have a mindset that we are refusing to release. We don't want to sit in the wilderness thinking that it is not possible, it can't happen, being all scared, trying to go back to that try to break us, and all those things. We are going to have to shift our mindset. Your promised land requires a different version of you. Yes. You've survived too much to repeat cycles. You've cried too many nights to stay the same. You've outgrown some rooms you're still trying to fit into. Baby, let me tell you, I'm too big to fit into some spaces. Some spaces is just too small for me. They is. I got thighs, baby, and all my thighs can't fit into some places. I'm just saying. You've outgrown some rooms. Be okay with that. That makes you a better person. That just says you evolve and you're not staying the same. The cycles breaks with you. If you want the cycle to break, you're going to have to shift your mindset. A new identity begins with you. It don't begin when life change, because life is not going to change until you change it for yourself. In the future you deserve, it starts with one decision. One decision. I'm becoming who I've always meant to be. You have to make a decision to become that person that you are always meant to be. Does that mean you're going to wake up tomorrow and you just going to be that person? No, you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to still be becoming that person. You're going to wake up the next day and guess what? You're going to still be becoming that person. Every day is giving you the opportunity to become the person that you are desiring to be. Is it? That's what it is. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, if you on here, go ahead and tap those screens. We finna get ready to get up out of there with this thing. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then we're gonna move on. Wow, we've been talking about this all week, and we have been digging down. We know that there's some decisions that we gotta make, and I'm gonna go ahead and give a few action steps so that we can go ahead and get these decisions making on the way. So we can go ahead and shift our mindset. So we can go ahead and make different decisions. So we can go ahead and walk in purpose. We are almost done. I told you today. Coach Tawanda got some things to do. So Coach Tawanda ain't finna sit here for no hour and a half. We finna work. We finna go ahead. We got what is 7:21. We finna go through these action steps and we finna come on out of here. Action step number one: define the future you. I want you to sit with this question: who am I choosing to become from this day forward? That's your first action step. You got to decide, who are you choosing to become from this day forward. Write down 5 identity statements. You just do 5 that describes the version of you. You're becoming the person that honors their boundaries. You're becoming the person that responds with wisdom, not emotions. The person who finished what they start. If I had it bad, baby, I start a project quick and then and don't do it. Or when I first started the whole healing process, there was some things I'll start on and I'll quit. Now it's like, no, we're gonna get up every day and we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna keep on doing it till we get it. We are going to make intentional choices, and we're gonna use our voice with confidence. It is what it is. So one, you want to define your future you. Who are you choosing to become from this day forward? Y'all, I'm trying to get through this thing so quick. I'm tumbling over these words. Please forgive me. Hey, if you here, if you just dropped in, I want to take a moment before I go to action step number 2 and just remind you, you can go ahead and click that link in the bio and you can sit with me on December the 15th, and let's talk about these things. Let's break these things down according to where you are and where you're trying to go. And then once we break it down and shift the mindset, let's go ahead and put some vision and goals to it. So join me in the Vision and Goals workshop on December the 15th. The link is in the bio. Number 2, identify one behavior to release. There is one behavior, just start with one that you can go ahead and release. Transformation is going to require you to let go of some things. So you can go ahead and ask yourself, what behaviors is no longer allowed in my life? There are some things that you have been allowing that just don't sit right with the spirit. I need you to identify those things so that you can just go ahead and let them go. Those things could be complaining. It can be shrinking, avoiding, people pleasing, overthinking, settling. Those are some of the main things that we found ourselves in traps of. Release what blocks who you are becoming. Those things can no longer go with you. Go ahead and release it. You ain't avoiding nothing in this season. You ain't pleasing nobody but yourself in this season. We ain't complaining about stuff in this season. You're not shrinking in this season. Release what blocks you from becoming the person, the version of you that you are looking to become. What's that person? You got to decide. You got to decide who you're going to become moving forward. 3, you're going to choose one daily action step. Identity is built through repetition. That's when I get up and I got to finish my little journaling because I was a little late on time. This is one of my habits now. This is one of my new habits that I have allowed myself to pick up. I love to journal. And journaling helps me to release things that I no longer need to hold on to. Journaling helped me to be able to write down the things that's crowding my mind so that I can look at it and I can put it in true perspective. I know what to do with it. So what I want you to do is choose one new daily action. Pick one simple behavior that you will repeat every day this week. Just one. You can say no when you mean no. Because sometimes we're saying yes to situations that we really don't want to say yes to. Say no. Speak up for yourself. There's always an opportunity for you to stand in the gap and replicate for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Take some intentional quiet time. We are so busy with all the noises around us, talking, conversation, all those things. You're gonna have to take some quiet time, because in that quiet time is gonna allow you to sit with yourself so you can identify what it is that you're needing, who you are, and where you're going. And then you can journal your decisions. You can pause before reaction. Those are just some small steps that you can take so you can allow yourself to break the old cycles so you can move into the person that you're becoming. Remember, small, consistent action steps shapes your identity faster than the big random ones. Yeah, we always think, especially when we've been sitting and we think that we're late, and we've been sitting back all this time not doing, and we just want to rush. I was there, and I want to do all the big thing, and then sometimes I was missing the little small steps, or I wasn't giving myself the credit for the small steps. And the small steps, when as I was making the small steps started building up, and they became bigger steps on their own, and they made bigger impact in my life. Decide your non-negotiables. There are some things that you're just not going to negotiate on. What are 3 standards that you will no longer compromise on? That's something for you to decide. I ain't gonna argue. We can communicate about it, but we ain't gonna argue about it. I don't have the energy to argue with you about it. We're gonna say what we need to say like adults, and we're gonna move forward. We're gonna protect our peace. No longer are we going to give the responsibility to somebody else to protect what belongs to us. We're going to protect our peace, and we're going to honor our commitments to ourselves. It is so easy, and this is a big one. Raising myself from such a young age, I didn't have the authority figures around me to make me stand on business. And so there was commitments, there was things that I was saying that I was going to do, and then I would allow myself, oh, I don't feel like doing it today, I ain't going to do it. I didn't want to come on live today. I'm just going to be real. It's not that I don't like being here with y'all, because I really kind of do, but it was just how I was feeling, some things I wanted to do. But I have to honor the commitments that I've made to myself. I committed myself to be here Monday through Friday, from 7 a.m. Now I don't know how long, but until I decide something different, this is just where I'm gonna be. Your standards create your identity. Me showing up is discipline. Me showing up even when I don't want to. There's been days and I've told y'all about it, there's been days I've been on here and I don't be feeling good at all. But when I come into the space, it shifts because I made that decision to just step out into it. And yeah, even when I leave it, that toe still aching, the sciatic still disrespectful, or whatever, congestion or whatever. It's fine. I deal with it. But what's important is I stay committed to the journey. I showed up when I needed to show up. I want you to practice seeing yourself differently. Every morning, you can ask yourself, how would the future me handle me today? Then respond. Speak on it. And decide from that place, from that moment, not from the old version of you. When you are making a decision to ask, how am I going to show up different? You got to go ahead and put the old version of you to the side, because you're not going to show up according to the old version of you. It's the new version of you that we're waiting to protrude. It's the new version of you that we are waiting to show up. Identity grows when you act like the person you're becoming, not like the person you used to be. If you used to be a person that responds out of anger, frustration, complaining, people pleasing, and all those things, that's not how we're going to show up moving forward. We're going to have to show up different. So the person that you are looking to become is the person that you're going to be looking to show up as. You're going to speak it out loud. I think sometimes because we have all those thoughts that come into mind and things of that nature, you're going to speak it out loud, because transformation needs a voice. Who am I becoming? So action step number 6. Who am I becoming? Say it with your chest. Say it with confidence. Even if you're growing into it, even if right now you are not that person, because again, what did we say? Who am I becoming? Meaning that we are still in process. You see what I'm saying? Your words align your mind. So according to who you're becoming, when you ask yourself that and you allow yourself to respond with honesty and with confidence and with your chest out, then you're going to start moving. Your mind going to start aligning. Your choices going to start aligning. Your energy going to start aligning. What you repeatedly declare becomes what you naturally live. Just like with all honesty, let me just go ahead and be honest. I got to stop declaring that this this sciatic pain, baby, is just disrespectful. I understand it's there, but baby, we're gonna have to go ahead and just release that thing because, baby, let me tell you, I'm gonna have to start declaring crip walking or something over here so this thing can move the way I need it to move. But on 7, we're gonna celebrate every becoming moment. Sometimes we shortchange ourselves. It can be something very small. And I had a habit of, oh, that's just a little something, something. Oh, I just did a little. I done wrote a book. Oh, that's just a little something. Oh, no, that's not a little something, something. That's a big something, something. Where did I show up as the last version I want to become? I mean, I'm not the last. Where did I show up? Where do I show up as the version that I want to become? Where do I show up? How do you show up? Don't overlook the small wins. I did that because they're proof that the change is happening. It's proof that something is moving, that something is shifting, that you're becoming the person that you are working on becoming. Identity grows through acknowledgement, not perfection. We are expecting it to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but it is becoming. Is becoming. Those are 7 steps. 7 steps. I told y'all, listen, I'm on the time schedule. I'm trying to get up out of here this morning. I love y'all. I love being here. I'm not trying to rush you, but hey, you can also catch me on Zoom on the 15th of December. And from there, every first and third Monday, so we can talk this thing out. So I'm going to run real quickly just over these steps again so that you can take these steps and you can apply these steps to your life so that you can make the shift that you are desiring to shift. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, TikTok. I love y'all. Thank you for spending your time with me. We're going to go ahead and get this on, done, and out of here. The first action step is decide who you want to become. Decide who you want to become. Ask yourself, who am I choosing to become this day forward? 2, identify one behavior to release. Understanding you got to release some things in order to pull in some new things. What behavior is no longer allowed in my life? There is something that you have been allowing that has been stealing your peace, has been allowing you to shrink, avoiding situations, people pleasing, all those things. Take one and go ahead and throw it in the trash can. You don't need it no more. What behavior is no longer allowed in my life is the question that you should ask yourself. Number 3, choose one daily action step. All you need is just one. You just need one simple behavior that you have been repeating, and one to when you take away those things that you no longer need, you need one behavior to replace it. What are you going to do? Are you going to say no when you mean no? Are you going to speak up for yourself? Are you going to be intentional, take intentional time for yourself? Come on, you got to make the decision. 4, decide your non-negotiables. There are some things you're going to have to just decide and you're just going to have to stand on it. What are 3 standards you no longer compromise on? What are you protecting? Are you going to protect your peace or are you going to leave it to somebody else to protect? I'm saying you got to decide what's non-negotiable. You got to decide what you will no longer tolerate or compromise on when it comes down to protecting who you are and moving into becoming the version of you that you are designed and destined to see. Number 5, practice seeing yourself differently. How do you see yourself now? If you see yourself now in a way that's not aligned with who you are becoming or who you see yourself becoming, then you're going to have to go ahead and do something different. How would the future me handle me today? How would the future me? Okay, so when you think about who you're becoming, how would that person handle this situation? That's what you want to do. You want to practice seeing yourself differently, and you want to speak it out loud because you got to understand that transformation, it needs a voice. This is who I'm becoming. Tell the space who you're becoming and do it with your chest. Do it with your chest. And then you're going to celebrate every moment, every becoming moment that you have, you are going to celebrate. I don't care how small it is, you did it. Today, you can get up and just decide to journal, and you ain't journaled never before. You've been avoiding it or whatever, and all you did was write 5 little sentences. You better start clapping for yourself. You better start congratulating it. I don't care how small it is. It deserves your congratulations. It deserves you to acknowledge it. It deserves for you to comfort it. That's it. That's all. I want to take a moment as we get up out this thing, because I told you Coach T got some things to do this morning, so we wasn't gonna hold you. If you came in a little bit late, baby, I'm sorry, but thank you for popping in. Go ahead and hit rewind. It ain't a long video, so you're gonna be able to get the juices very, very quickly. I want to go ahead again before we end this thing. I want to go ahead and ask you this. Are you ready to walk into that identity? Are you ready to put a face with this new put a face into action with this new person you're becoming? Are you ready to get clarity, to get confidence, to get step by step and support that you've not had in this journey that of becoming you? Sometimes we do need a little bit of support, and everybody can't support us in where we going, because some people, where we going, we're going to have to leave some people behind. So this is a moment, this is an opportunity for a little bit of support. I want to personally invite you to my Vision and Goal workshop. It is on December the 15th. We're going to have a great time. How do we know we're going to have a great time? Because Coach Tawana said we're going to have a great time. And when Coach Tawana show up, I just feel like we have a great time. So go ahead and click that link in my bio and go ahead and grab your seat and go ahead and meet me in person on baby, I'm talking about June. Let me tell you, there's some cruises going on in June. Don't mind me. We ain't waiting in June, because we're going to do this thing December the 15th. You're not just setting goals. We're shifting identities. We're breaking cycles. We're creating the blueprint of the version we are called to be. If this is stirring up in you, you know how that pot, you be stirring that pot. If something's stirring up in you and you feel a tug on your spirit, this is your confirmation. Go ahead and click that link, because your future self is waiting. There are some things that you have been desiring to do. There's some things you have been waking up just knowing something inside of you ain't right. You have been waking up just knowing there's a change that you just know you need to make and you want to make, and you just don't know how to make it. You have all these goals that you have in this vision, but your mind shift is not aligning with it, so you don't even know what to do. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to go ahead and release what you no longer need, so we can go ahead and fill you up with what you're going to carry into this new version of you. Because what? Why? Because you deserve it. You deserve it. No, I'm just saying. Y'all know I always got to do something a little bit silly. I ain't sorry for it, baby, because ain't nothing about me sorry. I love you. I thank you so much for your time. If anybody got any questions, go ahead and drop it in the chat bar. I'd rather you don't drop it in the chat, because then I got to read it and answer it. I'd rather you to sit in front of me, person to person. It's on Zoom, but we personal, right? And ask the questions, allow me to be able to talk you through the process. We can sometimes see things or hear things within a quick moment, but sometimes we need to have that moment to really sit down with it, so we can allow it to just stir up in our spirit, just simmer. You know how you put I'm hungry, y'all. You know how you put something in a pot and you just let that thing just simmer? We're going to let these things simmer in your hearts and your spirits, and that's how we're going to allow ourselves to move forward. Again, today is day 4. We have been rocking this day. Today, we are just talking about breaking the cycle that has been keeping us running around like a little hamster on a hamster wheel. Today, we're going to go ahead and break that wheel so we can move forward, because we have somewhere to go. If you do not have your goals, your vision, your plans, your next steps ready for 2026, you're going to want to go ahead and click that link and join me on December the 15th, because we're going to walk you through it. I ain't even just going to talk you through it. I got worksheets for you. I have the thing that you're going to need when you join into this space. If you don't know what you're going to be doing for 2026, you need to come on December the 15th and join us on Zoom, so you can go ahead and figure this thing out. Again, for those that just coming in, I'm just going to run over. I ain't going to run over the steps. You can go watch the video, because see, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to cut this thing short. Not because I don't love you, because I'm excited and I got some things to do. Day 1, we was talking about accountability. We going to stop pointing fingers at other people, at circumstances, at past situations, and we're going to turn them on ourselves so we can start working on self. When you are accountable for self, then you get to focus on self. When you put all the accountability and the responsibility on somebody else, then you're focused on them and you're neglecting self. This is where we turn inner and we start thinking about self. Day 2, we understood that complaining gonna keep us stuck. It is easy sometimes. I find myself having to control myself and check myself in those moments where I want to complain about something. And so instead of asking myself, why is this happening to me? I need to be asking myself, and you should be asking yourself too, how can I shift this situation? What can I do with what I have in front of me? Because we understand that the event is nothing that you can do anything about, but the response to it is something that you have control on it over, and it's going to get you the outcome that you need. So that's we're going to have to shift. We're going to have to shift from wondering why is this happening to me, and we're going to have to shift to understand and ask ourselves, what can I do to make this better? What can I do with the information that I've been provided? On day 3, we talked about changing your response. Again, we talked about E plus R equal O. Do you know what E plus R equal O is? Okay, you don't. That's fine. I'll go ahead and tell you. I got a few more moments. Got about 2 of them. E plus R equal O is the event. The E is event, the R is response, and the O is outcome. The event is something you cannot change, you cannot do. It just happens. It just happened to happen. The response to that event is what you have control over. How you choose to respond is within your control, and the outcome is what you're gonna reproduce according to your response. You get that? You got that? Come on and tap that screen. Show me some love if you know what I'm talking about. You're going to understand that identity creates your patterns. So every habit you have, every relationship, every setback, every time you silence yourself, all those things, that's your identity. You have been allowing yourself to identify with those things, and they're going to create the pattern that you allow yourself to live by. That's what we're going to shift. We're going to go from thinking that we're unworthy to understanding that we are worthy of all things. We're going to go from thinking that we're overlooked and understanding that, oh, we are seen. We're going to go from being thinking that we're unsupported into stepping into spaces where support is. We're not worrying about who didn't show up. We're going to worry about who is showing up. We ain't invisible. We got somewhere to go, and people going to need to see us getting there. They ain't got to see us being in our business, but we're not invisible. We have a heart, we have a mind, we have a voice, and we're going to start using it. You're not good enough. That's a lie. I don't know who told it to you, but you better take that thing, ball it up, and slang it back at them. I'm just saying, always remember, you believe who you are. And who you are is not tied to what somebody else or who somebody else think you are. You believe who you are. This is your life. Everybody, like I've told you before, you've heard me say, you're not late, you're becoming. Okay, it took a little time to get some things done. Okay. And what? It took a little time, okay, but you're not too late. You are right on time for the version of you that's waiting to meet you. That's it. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're going to be understanding when we meet up on December the 15th. We ain't just going to put some goals together. We ain't just going to know what we going to be doing in 2026. We are going to shift our mindset so that we know we're going to be able to walk into it with no issue. How do we get in this workshop with you? I'm going to say it and I'm going to release you because it's my time to go. Because I got some more journaling to do. And I got some things I got to do. And I know you do too. How do you get it? Go ahead and click the link in the bio and go ahead and grab your seat. Share the link with somebody else that's close to you, that you know that can. Y'all gonna go ahead and roll that. I got my travel partner, I got my praying partners, and all that. We are on accord. So when it comes down to it, we all shift together. So go ahead and share it with somebody so we can all have that shift together. YouTube, I thank you for your time. Thank you for your yes to yourself. I want to thank everybody who has already bought their ticket. I'm excited to meet up on December the 15th because I got a few people up in there, baby, and we're going to have us a great time because we're going to leave that space knowing that who we walked in there as is not who we going to walk out as. We are going to leave that space understanding that we have a position, we have a role, and the only person that can determine where we're going is ourselves. That's it. That's all. I love y'all. YouTube, I love you. Go ahead and watch the replay if you didn't catch the front. But I just ran it all down to you real quick. This day was a quick day because Coach Sawanda got some things to do. As she say, y'all have an amazing day on purpose.